Your engine doesn't feel as sharp as it used to. The idle is a little rough. Fuel economy is down a mile or two. And every time you press the gas, the car just feels older than it should. Most drivers blame age, but sometimes the problem is hiding in the simplest place on the car, your gas cap. Today, I'll show you the simple gas cap checks mechanics don't want you to know, and why fixing the cap can make your engine run like new again. Number 8. Stop over-tightening your gas cap. Most people think tighter means better. With a gas cap, it means damage. Your cap has a built-in ratchet mechanism that releases at a specific torque point. That release point exists to protect the seal. Force past it repeatedly, and you crack the internal threads or flatten the seal unevenly. The cap can look fine and still click, yet still be leaking. Here's the real-world cost. When the cap doesn't seal, your ECU logs a P0457 and starts running fuel trim compensations, adjusting how much fuel the engine gets to account for vapor loss it's detecting. Those adjustments affect idle quality and throttle response. You're driving on bad math, and you don't know it. A 2019 Chevy Equinox came to my shop with a rough idle and P0457. Owner had been clicking that cap 5 or 6 times every fill-up for 2 years. The ratchet was destroyed, and she'd already been quoted $340 for a purge valve. The actual fix was a $22 OEM cap, and idle cleared up within 3 drive cycles. The number of clicks isn't universal, and that's where most people get it wrong. Honda builds their caps around a full 3 clicks before you close the fuel door. Toyota goes the opposite direction. The Corolla and RAV4 are designed to stop dead after 1 click. Forcing a second or third doesn't tighten anything further. It just grinds the ratchet down. Newer Subaru Foresters follow that same 1-click design. Older Outbacks and Civics from a decade ago click through several rotations because that's simply how the mechanism was built back then. Some older Ford trucks like the Expedition skip the click system entirely and spec an 1/8 of a turn instead. The number is printed right on the cap itself or listed in your owner's manual under Fuel System. Find your number, click to it, and stop. That handles how tight the cap should be. But tightness alone doesn't tell you whether the seal underneath is actually still good. Number 7. Don't trust what your gas cap looks like from the outside. A cap can look perfect and fail a pressure test in under 30 seconds. I've seen it hundreds of times. The rubber seal inside is what actually holds your EVAP system under pressure. When that seal loses elasticity, the system can't complete its nightly monitor cycle. The purge valve, which feeds stored fuel vapors into the intake at precisely timed intervals, starts operating on a false read. That's where the rough idle comes from, along with the hesitation and the fuel smell that shows up and then disappears. Press the seal with your thumb. It should compress and spring back immediately. If it stays flat, feels stiff, or has visible flat spots on the face, it's leaking at those points on every single drive. Ethanol in modern fuel blends accelerates this. A seal that was fine at 60,000 miles can be done by 85,000. Here's what nobody tells you at the dealership. The code a failed seal throws is identical to the code a failed solenoid throws. Now, before we move to the next mistake, here's one that gets recommended constantly and is dead wrong. Number 6. Stop using WD-40 on your gas cap seal. This gets recommended constantly. It's wrong, and it makes the problem worse. WD-40 is a petroleum-based water displacer. EVAP seals vary by manufacturer, but certain rubber compounds are susceptible to swelling from petroleum distillates. A swollen seal changes shape, and a seal that's changed shape no longer compresses evenly. That's how you turn a borderline leak into a confirmed one. What actually works? Wipe the filler neck threads and rim with a microfiber cloth, and remove fuel residue, road salt, and sand. Any debris on that sealing surface creates a vapor escape path on every drive. Then apply a thin coat of silicone grease, not petroleum, to the seal face. Silicone keeps the rubber pliable, helps it compress uniformly, and extends seal life without distorting the geometry. A 2015 Ford F-150 EcoBoost spent 4 months chasing P0456. The purge valve got replaced, then the vent valve, then the hoses got inspected. That ran $510 in parts and labor. The actual problem was a filler neck packed with sand from a dirt road the owner drove regularly. The seal itself was fine, but the surface it pressed against wasn't. 20 minutes with a cloth and $6 of silicone grease cleared the code for good. Cleaning works when the cap itself is still good. But there's one popular shortcut that skips that question entirely, and it tends to backfire. Number 5. Stop buying universal gas caps. Universal caps are the most expensive cheap part you can buy. They thread on, they click, and they feel right at the pump. But the seal face is designed to span a range of filler neck diameters, so it doesn't fit any of them perfectly. What you get is a cap that seals under light pressure and leaks under the specific vacuum the EVAP monitor applies overnight. The code comes back in 2 weeks. You buy another one and get the same result. Meanwhile, the system never runs a clean monitor, and your fuel trims never fully stabilize. A vehicle-specific OEM or quality aftermarket cap runs $10 to $60 depending on the vehicle, and that's the real range. It's built to your exact filler neck diameter, thread pitch, and seating depth, so it seals the first time. Let's stay on cost for a second, because the next mistake is the most expensive one on this list. Number 4. Check the filler neck before you replace one more part. A brand new gas cap cannot fix a corroded filler neck. I've proven this more times than I can count. The filler neck rim is exposed to road salt, rain, and temperature cycles every single day. In Rust Belt states, I see these corroding through by 80,000 miles. Surface rust forms on the sealing lip, leaving pitted, uneven metal that the seal bridges at the high spots and leaks at the low spots. Vapor escapes at those gaps on every drive. The EVAP system never holds pressure, and you keep getting codes and keep replacing parts that were never the problem. Grab a flashlight and look at the rim directly. You're checking for rust scale on the top edge, pitting in the metal, chipped paint on the sealing lip, and dents from a dropped nozzle. Any of those breaks the seal regardless of what cap you install. I once worked on a 2013 Jeep Grand Cherokee that already had $740 thrown at the EVAP system. 2 purge valves, a vent solenoid, and a canister. The actual fix was a $110 filler neck and 1 hour of labor. That was it. When I checked the filler neck rim, there was a rust pit about the size of a pencil eraser right where the gas cap seals. Once I replaced that surface, the code never came back. Look at the neck before you authorize anything else. Knowing what to physically inspect is half the battle. The other half is knowing what the code on the scanner actually means before you act on it. Number 3. Stop replacing parts based on the code alone. Here's what nobody tells you at the dealership. EVAP codes are a starting point. They are not a parts list. P0455 is a large leak, P0456 is small, and P0457 points to the cap area first. The code tells you where to begin, not what to buy. The correct order is cap first, smoke test second, replace only what the smoke test finds. That sequence saves $200 to $600 compared to starting at the purge valve or canister based on a code read alone. Know the symptoms that point past the cap. A stuck-open purge valve creates a rich condition, rough idle, hesitation under light throttle, and a hard start right after filling up. That's a purge valve fingerprint. A failed vent valve shows up as a repeated monitor failure with no drivability complaint. Cracked hoses leak based on temperature, which produces intermittent codes that come and go. The gas cap, on the other hand, produces almost no symptoms on its own beyond the light and the code, which is exactly how you rule it out fast. Start cheap and work in order. Stop authorizing repairs based on a code and a quote. Once you know how to rule the cap out, it helps to understand what that little part is actually doing in the first place. Number 2. Understand what the gas cap actually controls. The gas cap is not just a filler cover. It's the entry point to your entire fuel vapor system. Here's the mechanism. Your tank constantly produces vapor. The EVAP system captures that vapor, stores it in a charcoal canister, and at precisely timed intervals during normal driving, the purge valve opens and feeds it into the intake to be burned. When the cap seals correctly, this cycle runs on schedule. Combustion stays clean, fuel trims stay calibrated, and fuel economy stays stable. When the cap leaks, vapor escapes before it reaches the canister. Less stored vapor means a leaner purge cycle. The ECU detects the lean condition and compensates by adding fuel. Those adjustments are small individually, but over 20,000 miles of a slow leak, they accumulate. Idle quality softens, fuel economy drops a mile or two per gallon, and the engine runs on compensation data instead of baseline calibration. A 2016 Subaru Outback came in at 91,000 miles. The owner said it just didn't feel as tight as it used to, with a slight rough idle and fuel economy down from 28 to 26 highway. He'd been attributing it to age. The cap seal had a visible flat spot and was hard as a poker chip. A new cap ran $27, and 2 weeks later, He texted me that it drives like it did at 50,000 miles. That's not a surprise. That's what happens when you stop making the ECU compensate for a leak it's been correcting for thousands of miles. But none of this applies if your car doesn't even have a cap to begin with. Which brings us to the most overlooked check on this entire list. Number 1. If your car has no gas cap, you're maintaining it wrong. Ford introduced the capless fuel filler in 2009. GM, Honda, Ram, Hyundai, and others followed. If your vehicle was built after 2012, there's a real chance you have one, and nothing in most owners' manuals explains what to do when it fails. Instead of a cap, there's a spring-loaded flap inside the filler neck. When the nozzle goes in, it pushes the flap open. When the nozzle comes out, a spring closes the flap against an O-ring seal. That O-ring does exactly what the rubber seal on a traditional cap does. It holds pressure so the EVAP system can run its overnight monitor. The most common failure is contamination. Road dust, sand, and fuel residue collect around the flap and spring, and the flap can't close fully. Vapor escapes, the system fails its pressure test, and you get the same downstream symptoms as a leaking cap: rough idle, fuel smell, P0456 or P0457. But there's nothing to unscrew, so most shops skip straight to the expensive parts. A 2019 Ford Explorer Sport came in after a P0457. The dealer replaced the purge valve and the code came back. The next quote was $280 for a vent solenoid. The owner came to me instead, and the capless inlet was packed with fine gravel from a construction site he drove through regularly. 10 minutes with a clean rag, and the plastic funnel Ford includes for exactly this purpose cleared the code, and it never came back. He'd already spent $340 at the dealer before anyone looked at the inlet itself. Here's what nobody tells you at the dealership. The message that says, "Check fuel cap," on a capless vehicle is not a glitch. It's telling you exactly where the problem is. Most people just don't know what to look at when there's no cap to check. If the spring weakens and the flap won't seal even when clean, the filler neck assembly runs $50 to $150. That's the actual repair, not the canister and not the solenoid. Your gas cap or your capless inlet is where your EVAP system either works or doesn't. Get it right, and the system runs its purge cycle on schedule. Your fuel trims stay calibrated, and your engine runs on accurate data. Get it wrong, and you're funding a diagnostic process that started at the wrong end. That covers all 8, but the cap is really just one entry point into a much bigger system that's constantly talking to you. The cheapest part on your car can quietly cut its life short, and most drivers never connect the two. The habits that take a car to 700,000 miles are simpler than most people think, and a lot of them cost nothing. That's exactly what I break down in the next video. Follow these habits to take your car to 700,000 miles, problem-free.